Hey fellas, haven't made a video in a pretty decent amount of time, and I've had a few recent acquisitions, primarily knives, a couple guns, but mostly knives. What's been taking my wallet's attention here recently. One I got a while ago that I probably already showed on camera, but I don't remember, is this very heavily used ZDP 189. I don't know if the blue was a Sprint or what, but you could see there's like a ton of scratches on the blade. I got it from a pawn shop, a whole bunch of dirt and crap in the handle, in the scales rather. I cleaned it up a lot. It was quite a bit more abused. You can see the previous owner kind of messed up the jimping right here because they tried to sand it or sharpen it on a sander. You can see where it's kind of sloped down at an angle right here, and then it's cut off right here. Might be able to show. Well, whatever. You could see it pretty easily, it seems. Well, that's a ZDP. That's my first experience with ZDP. It's pretty hard steel. It was dull as hell when I got it. It took me about 40 minutes to sharpen on a diamond stone set. The pocket clip was broken off, so I got a new one for a different knife that I have and put the slightly used one that I had on this knife. Holds an edge quite well. I have noticed it is not very stainless steel. It does kind of like soak up marks and stuff, but that's one of them. Next one, my favorite pocket knife in the world. This is the CTS 204P Sprint Run Para 2. This is a brand new knife. You can see inside there how it's all still super shiny compared to the one that I carry every day. Well, it's still really shiny, but you can definitely see that it's pretty dirty, even though I clean it somewhat often. Lots of crap in there. But this one is brand new and beautiful, and I can't stop playing and fondling that thing. This next one actually came to me yesterday. Some of you might know what that emblem is, probably a lot of you. That's a Wilson Combat, and as you see in upside down writing, it's a Hogue. This is the Wilson Combat. I think they call it Starlight Tactical EX01 from Hogue. And this one is very lightly used also. I can clean the blade and all that mark will come off of there. You can see that's just my thumbprint oils on my fingers, and every bit of those marks will come out of there. But you can see beautiful G-Mascus cut in the StarTac kind of pattern from Wilson Combat. You can see the grays and the black in it. It's really cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it is missing a screw, but this knife is pretty amazing. It is butter smooth. I mean, this is the 4-inch version, and I don't have enough room on the table right here to flick it open and you actually be able to see it, but that thing is super quiet, super smooth. This is just a buttery knife, and super hot too. Wilson Combat branding on the pocket clip there. And lastly, as far as knives, almost had a small catastrophe there. Lastly, what I was saying, as far as knives go, is this beauty. I got some dust on it, but you can see there's not a single mark on that blade. There's not a single mark on this handle scale. Very light marks on the pocket clip. And yes, this is in fact ZDP. This is ZDP carbon fiber stretch. Super thin, super light, disappears in your pocket. Way more aggressive jimping on the spine of the blade, as you can see here, compared to Spyderco's normal jimping. But this thing is phenomenal. This is an incredible EDC knife. That blade shape just lends itself to absolutely, dust is bothering me, anything that you could possibly want to do with it. It kinda sorta reminds me of how useful this blade shape is. I'm sure everyone that's gonna watch this knows what knife this is, but super useful knife blade shape. Probably right along the same lines as this blade shape, which is the same as that one, but very useful. From what I've seen with this one, it keeps an edge forever. This one is different though. The blade is actually longer. Hold on, let me move some stuff around here. I'm not even sure that you're going to be able to tell on video, but we'll try. Alright, you'll see one there and one there, and we're just going to line these two up here. Alright, that's pivot to pivot, and here's a straight edge, and you can see that one's longer. It's also broader. You can see that the carbon fiber is actually a broader blade. Slightly different shape. This hump here is a little bit more pronounced than this hump. A little different. I thought it was interesting. Same knife, just a way more expensive version. You can see because of that hump being a little bit less pronounced, it kind of sits in the handle a little bit farther also. Right around here. You can see that this one sits in the handle a little farther. I'll probably wind up swapping these two pocket clips. This one seems to be a little bit less worn than this one is, and this knife is way less worn than this one is collectively, so this one is just epically beautiful. You can see how thin it is compared to the FRN being pretty thick. This one is like half the weight though. The FRN is super light. The liners on here are way thicker, and you can see they're visible on the outside, whereas these liners in here are nested, just like Enduras and Delicas. But yeah, that's newly acquired. I'll have a separate video for some guns that have come in my hands here recently. See ya.